This is like my 8th time recording this, and we're kind of calming down, getting into regular life again. But there was an attack on my son from my daughter's dog, and I'm just gonna go into it and tell you guys everything that happened. So if you're interested, please stay tuned. So we're doing something a little bit different today. We're here with an update. If you watched our very last video that we posted, you would see that we got a golden retriever named
Henry.
And it was Bethany's dog since she was a little girl.
Dad's.
We got it from her dad. So why did your dad have to get rid of Henry?
My dad had to get rid of Henry because one night my little cousin, who also lives with me at my dad's, she crawled into Henry's crate because he's crate trained and that's his little home. And he attacked her, and she wasn't rushed, but she had to go to the ER. And she had stitches from her chest to her arm. And my dad surrendered him for up to a shelter because it was just too dangerous to have him around, especially because I have even younger cousins than what she was, and she's 4. So it was just too dangerous to have him around that many kids.
Josh and I talked about it, and we thought that would work for us. Like,
I know, in hindsight, as you hear more along the story, it might not have worked, might have been the best idea, but we wanted Bethany to be happy. It had never been bad to Bethany.
And this was the very first attack it had ever done.
The very first attack.
It was not a mean dog.
They live in a house with quite a few people and animals, and kind of cramped. So we thought with a larger space,
fewer people, no animals,
no other animals. We thought we were capable of taking good care of him.
And he was trained. He was
very well trained.
Yeah.
Very well trained. He listened really well. And he moves in, and everyone falls completely in love with him. He was the nicest dog. He behaved perfectly.
The first night he slept with us in bed.
There was no issues. No growling, no aggression, nothing. Like, he was the perfect dog. Time goes by. Everything seems fine. We start getting comfortable. It's about a weekend now. I answered the phone, and Deborah said, "Max got bit. Come home now."
Max got attacked. I need you.
I need you now. And so I asked her a question, and she's like, "Shut up and come home."
Yep.
And so I ran like 4 red lights, and my normal commute is about 16 minutes. I made it home in about 9, going double the speed limit and running all red lights.
And right at the same time he showed up is when the ambulance finally showed up, which is ridiculous because the ambulance is only
4 houses away?
Yeah.
It's 4 houses away. And I almost beat
the station for ambulance. Yeah.
So Max was attacked in our kitchen area next to the little desk that we have. The dog was eating, and Max kept making noise, and Max kept messing with the little puppy football, like squishing it, making it all sound, all the noises. And I had just told him, like, Max, that is so annoying. If I'm annoyed, I'm sure you're annoying the dog. You need to stop. And within like a minute, I turn around. I hear like a really weird noise. I turn around, and Max is on the ground. The dog is on top of him at his neck, like at his neck. And I don't remember all the moments. I don't remember everything happened so quick for me. I have no idea how I got him. I have no idea how I got the dog off. All I remember is picking Max up, getting a whole bunch of towels from my laundry room, and calling Josh, and hanging up with Josh and calling 911. I remember fighting with the person on 911 because they could not get my address down. I remember them asking what's going on, and me trying to keep like a brave face for Max. And he had, well, when I called them, I only thought he had 3 holes in his head. That's all I could see at the time, was that there was 3 openings in his face. And so they're like, "Can you tell me what's going on?" And I'm like, "I'm going to have to spell it because I can't tell you in front of him. He's going to freak out." And so they were like, "Okay, spell it." And so I was like, "Holes," and I was spelling holes, and I was like 3, and I was spelling 3. And the ambulance got there. I wouldn't have needed an ambulance if Josh was home, but there's no way that I could have driven him and held his, towels up next to him.
Yeah.
And there's no way I was going to have Bethany sit back there and play, nurse to her brother who's only 4. So we went ahead and we went to the hospital. They stitched him up. They gave him so many shots to where he would be numb. And he was so polite, and he was in so much pain, and he just kept asking the doctor, "Can you please stop poking me? Mister, please stop poking me." And he was like so done. And as a parent, I was so done. And I was like so ready to attack the doctor because he was just kept hurting my son. You know, it was such a hard moment. But he recovered, of course. He's doing so well. The bite underneath his lip was so big that his lip protrudes on one side. There's so much extra skin now.
That and when before he got his sutures in his face, if you looked to the side, you could see like his teeth from just not even opening his mouth, just from the side of his skull.
But Max is tough.
Yeah.
So we all took it pretty hard.
Yeah.
I took it pretty hard. I wasn't there. I couldn't protect him. I couldn't protect my family. I was so mad. I was so upset with Henry. I watched Bethany for a while, and I was just so upset. And the next day, I got called out of work so that I could stay home and take care of Max and watch over him. And the whole day, Max was fine. Max was chilling.
Max was on
like,
Fortnite.
sweet, Dad's home. Let's play some Xbox. Like, I don't even feel any pain. And me and Deborah were just like shell shocked, like in shock, and like really, really upset and mad and angry.
Everything hurt. Everything hurt.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in the chair where Mom was when Max got attacked. And where she is right now, you could see directly where Max was attacked. And so I just remember seeing like Max on the ground and Henry on top of him, and it kind of like, I don't know, it's just like it follows you forever. You know, just that image. It just follows you forever. And like,
Speaking of falling forever,
Okay, so a few days later, well, the very next day, the animal control people come and they pick up Henry. They say goodbye to him. I couldn't go out and see him. I was terrified of him. I could not put myself in that situation. They go pick him up and say goodbye, and I recorded him going across the street and going in their car, and it was so sad. Like, it was so sad he was leaving, but at the same time, I was so uncomfortable around him. And about 4 days later, Josh got a phone call at work, and what did they tell you?
So we thought that Henry was going to put down. I thought that he was going to be destroyed.
They told us that.
They told us that he had to be because it was second incident. And again, I was really mad. To be honest, I didn't know he had been. Well, they called me and told me that he was completely deaf. He had absolutely no hearing. And so, like, a few things connected the dots, but not a whole lot, because somehow he understood sit, lay down, roll over.
yeah.
I'm guessing by hand signals, he figured it out, or he had like a routine that he followed. He listened, minus the whole hearing part. He appeared to listen. Really
He was
well
a good dog.
Yeah, he was a good dog, but somehow they explained it as basically, Max had been irritating him. He was eating, and Max probably just startled him, doing something that Max does, and he's 4 years old, so 4-year-olds do stuff like that. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And he startled him real bad, and
I'm 5.
You are now. So he startled him real bad, and that's what made him turn on him.
Yeah.
There's a rescue that specializes in golden retrievers, and that rescue had already decided they were going to come pick him up.
They reached out, they loved him, and they wanted him. And they have had golden retrievers in the past that are deaf, and their youngest kid is 15. So it's a perfect match for them all across the board. Number one, they know what they're messing with when they're getting a dog that's deaf. Number two, they don't have a kid that this dog's going to be able to attack, because no matter who was around him, he couldn't have attacked me. I'm so much bigger than he is. Josh is so much bigger than he is. Bethany is so much bigger than the only person in this whole house that he had a chance with was Max. So they're not going to have that at their house. And we were just really happy that he wasn't put down. That was my biggest thing. And I kept telling Josh, I remember like Josh and I were not doing good. And I came downstairs and it was like 3 a.m. and I was like, I just need to get Henry. If they're going to kill Henry, I have to get him. Like, I don't care who he attacked. I don't care. I'll have him separate from Max. Like, they'll always be on a different level of the house, but I have to have him back here. I cannot let Bethany's dog die. And Josh told me that the vet had called him and said he was going to be placed in a home and that he would be doing well. And so after that, I felt so much better with it. And they said that he was deaf. And so it made much more sense of why such a good dog decided to attack, because he, might not have...
Twice.
Yeah, might not have known that Max was there, and then he looks up and Max is in his spot,
Yeah.
That's very scary.
Yeah, same thing with the
That
first
doesn't-
attack.
That doesn't mean it's a good fit for us to have him here, because that could happen again. But it helps to understand it at least.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, we decided to get right back on that horse again.
Right back on that dog again.
Right back on that dog again.
No!
And we got a new puppy.
Yes.
Yes.
Cowboy.
So one night, Deborah disappeared at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Disappeared into thin air.
Disappeared into thin air. No one knew where she was. Until they checked her Instagram and found out that she was waiting in line at a shelter to get us a new puppy. What's the puppy's name, Max?
Cowboy.
Cowboy. Here, come sit down and talk to him about the story. How are you feeling, Max?
Good.
Are you upset?
No.
Do you miss Henry?
No.
No. Do you love your new dog?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Cowboy.
What's his
Cowboy?
middle name?
What's his middle name?
Yoshi.
Did you name him that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sit next to him.
We're going to leave right now, but we wanted to update you guys on Henry and let you guys know that's why he is unfortunately not at our house anymore. He is at a good home. He is being loved on. And from what we hear, he's having the best time. And the people were so excited for the 10 days to be over so they could get him.
Yeah,
So-
that and
So yeah, he actually got so he went to a shelter, but he never even made it onto the shelter's website. One of the volunteers took him home before he could even
before he could even
be adopted out. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that happens sometimes at shelters, but this
He's
one
just
happened for
such a-
him, and I'm glad it's someone that's a huge dog person.
He's such a good dog. Like, that's what we want to emphasize. Like, accidents happen. It's not fair for Max that Max got attacked.
Mm-mm.
But in life, of everyday life, he was so mellow and calm and so loving. And Josh and I had talked up for the 10 days before he came home, like, no dogs inside the house. He's got long hair. We're not going to have this fight. And the very first night he was sleeping in bed with us, he was so lovable. He was so, so incredibly sweet. He does have, like, the biggest heart. And
Yeah.
so we are so happy that he's doing that for someone else.
and other than his hair, he's a very clean dog.
Yeah.
They didn't poop in the house at all.
Definitely.
I
Clayton.
think he did once.
Clayton, peek your head in here for a
No,
minute.
he never did.
Give us a little bit of information about Henry, how he felt about him. Just get your head in there.
Oh, so Clayton is like me, anti-animals. I don't want a dog. I don't want to hang out with no dog. And he would be laying on the dog bed, cuddling up with the dog. And I'd be
Me?
like,
Yeah, you.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
didn't you
did that.
just
Yeah,
say
you
you were
did.
an animal
No.
person? Didn't you just say, no, I have plenty of dogs at my mom's house. I don't want a dog here.
I didn't know.
And yet you're cuddling on the same bed as the dog.
So,
Okay,
Clayton,
photos.
We got pictures.
Photos. Put those
Here.
photos in. Okay.
all right, Clayton. So, on the very last day before you left, what did you do with Henry outside in the backyard? I got the pictures to prove it.
I forgot.
You started connecting with Henry. You started hanging out with him, playing with him, playing fetch with him in the backyard for like 20 minutes.
He was a fun dog.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
And
gonna
it's
show
time
you.
for the big reveal. Dun, 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 dun.
This is our little stinky dog.
He's not
He's
so
not
little
so little anymore.
No,
He
he's
started
not
off
that little
small.
anymore.
He's 20 pounds. He started off as 11.
12.
12.
12?
No, he was 8 pounds at first.
Oh, yeah.
He's already grown a whole lot. We're not sure of what he is. You guys should comment if you know what his mix is. Dad's guess
definitely
He's
is
definitely lab.
a little bit lab and a lot of bit border collie. That's Dad's guess. But he appears to be larger than a border collie is going to be.
Little big baby.
So he could be a
A mix of something.
His
A mix of something
favorite
else.
thing is a puppuccino from Starbucks.
Oh, yeah, that's his favorite.
If you start driving down the road, like you're even gonna go to Starbucks, he goes,
He gets
like
so excited.
freaks out in your car. So he's been a lot of fun. Honestly, my house is a trash. My house is a mess. But he's so much fun and he's so sweet. And we took him to the vet. Max, please don't.
Max, please don't get in front of the camera.
We took him to the vet 2 days ago, and all the vet people that work there were loving on him. They gave him way more treats.
Max.
Then
Go.
normal.
Every person that works there snuck in a treat for him, and I'm sure you're not supposed to do that because he had like 5 treats in the matter of like 20
He looks
minutes.
huge on the camera.
I know
He
he
is.
is.
Everyone says the
big.
camera adds 10 pounds, but 10 pounds is a third of his weight.
He's big. He's getting big, dude.
Can I show them?
All right, guys.
So we're gonna go off and
Time
go
to
to the lake for Max's birthday. We're gonna take the dog. We'll take you guys, but we just wanted to update you guys
Wait, we take people?
on why we do not have Henry anymore, and that's enough. We'll see you guys later. Bye. Love you.
Bye.
Lucky Daddy gets a new family.
Do you like us more than your other family? Yes, Mom. You're the best.